Aboard, for this stagecoach is about to move out, and it's for everyone that has potential and would love to be a superstar. Yeah, buddy, this stagecoach is leaving for Fun Timesville, and the Lord God is your driver to see that we have a safe trip. Holla!
Friday nights at 12:30, 9:30 on Saturday morning.
All aboard, all aboard, all aboard.
Say, look at here. Good afternoon and welcome to the AC Fun Time Superstar. My name is AC along with my co-host
Elder Carlytown and City Hall in North Charleston, and Black Lives Do Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
As we look for that justice, we will all want justice, and we all want peace. But if there's no justice, there'll be no peace. We want justice, we want peace. If there's no justice, there'll be no peace. We want justice, we want peace. If there's no justice, there'll be no peace. And that's what we gotta understand. And I'm speaking to us as a community right now. We haven't rose up and actually said we need more. We demand more. We can actually get more. We can stop having our children be afraid of the police. Over on the other side of town, are there children afraid of police?
No.
Are there children afraid of police?
No.
That's a quality of life issue. That's a systematic issue. That's an issue of let's actually change the way that we are policed. So we're also asking for a community policing policy, a community policing initiative in which we can look at the training, deployment, advancement, and the recruitment of officers, and make sure through a citizens review board we can have the teeth to say we want better. This is not an isolated incident. We are not backing down. We are here to change this establishment. We are here to change this culture. Lastly, I want to speak to your cameras and the people behind your cameras that write these stories. As soon as that story broke, that black man was a criminal. He was dehumanized. A family just lost their son and their brother, their father and their grandfather, and this media and your reporters decided to criminalize this man. What do you think now? What do you think now?
They've been lying the whole time.
Lying.
The whole time.
And what would have happened if that video never surfaced?
He would have got off. He would have got off. Another Mike Brown.
What would have happened if that video didn't surface?
It'd still be working.
What would have happened if that video didn't surface?
He would have been right here working.
He would have got off.
Exactly, and so that's the important piece that we really want to drill home to everybody right now. To everybody right now. There's been contradictions, and there continues to be contradictions from what we actually experience and what is reported in the media, in the news media. So we're calling for our community to start communicating with each other. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have the ability to create our own media channels. We do not have to believe the stories of people that have the perception of slaveholders, people that have the perception of bigots and racists that continually dehumanize and criminalize anything that is black. We have the power. We have to take that power. We cannot continue to believe stories that are created when we now know they were false. We want to look at the Post-and-Courier. We want to look at Live 5 News. We want to look at our local reporters and start to see the trends of which reporters are now always, constantly, anytime there's a report, they elevate this man behind a badge and they dehumanize a black man every single time before there wasn't an investigation, before we even knew what was going on. This hurts our entire community. This hurts our entire community when we have to look at each other like suspects because we're being told we're suspicious.
We are here in response to the shooting of Walter Scott and the demonstration of police brutality and ignorance that this murder entails. We're here as a community to say that enough is enough. I hope the release of this video is enough to turn the tide and really get Americans and our community members to see the institutional and systemic discrimination that exists within the law enforcement system here, not only in South Carolina, but the United States.
A murderer was placed on administrative paid duty. Why? Because everybody believed his lie. Because his accomplices, there were other officers in that video that were witness to what was happening. What happened to their word? What happened to their word? It's a systematic overlay that now is being shown. The dress is lifted. There's something dirty going on in there. And it's affecting what's happening out here and the quality of life of individuals that would love to make a living.
I'm going to do a piece that's entitled, Maybe One Day. Maybe one day we'll finally get some answers. Instead of having that same old dance being done around bushes to our questions. Maybe one day, my people can feel equally accepted, safe, sound, respected, and protected, and not like lower class citizens with this governed system working against them. Maybe one day, we can cast a ballot in an election for candidates whom the people have requested, where we can actually be able to relate to that individual being selected. Man, forget it. I must be merely dreaming. Or is this wishful thinking? It could be both. Depends on how you look at it. They are one and the same. Because there are no politicians that go out personally patrolling or politicking in the projects. So I'll be blunt and focus on the logic while pointing out the obvious. If you're from the wrong side of the tracks, you're poor or you're black, or your home address is not secured with a white picket fence, or it ain't nestled in a quiet little cozy sack, instead you may pay a fee or even live for free. Housed in the government bricks, where you cohabitate with the roaches and the rats, as broken spirits go out and create that exact injury to their backs every day for that never enough pay. But maybe one day we can have a reality where African American males are no longer a casualty.
Come on now.
All right.
Where we can have envision a life without them having to do a stint in prison. And for our young black girls to be crowned prom queen instead of just another pregnant teen.
That's right.
As we can remind them that they have alternative options like attending and graduating college and knowing that they can accomplish absolutely anything. Maybe one day, people will pick up Bibles instead of bottles, sealing cracks rather than smoking them so that not another soul is able to slip through them again. And for those ones who swore to protect and serve, won't find it so absurd to frisk a Caucasian kid crossing the curbs in the suburbs. No, they're not the ones that's pulling the drive-by, but they are the ones that's going to school, committing the mass homicides, then suicides, but I guess that's right. Whereas if a black kid is just suspected, if he ain't immediately arrested, he may not make it to trial to be tried. Pow! On the spot, he dies. See, I don't know what part of the world you're living in, but this right here is the America I'm witnessing. Maybe one day we'll eventually get some help, since we can't seem to come together and fix it ourselves. But hey, maybe one day.
And so that's the stories of Charleston. That's Charleston voice. That's Charleston Gullah Geechee dialect. This is the truth down here. This is the living truth of a reality that has been lived through generations down here. And so you need to hear these voices. The nation needs to hear these voices and understand the reality that folks have been living through for a very long time. We're not just reacting to this shooting. We're not just reacting to that. This has been a long-standing affair. This has been a long-standing occurrence and something that we've had to live with. So what you're going to hear is the passion of the people right now. Not reacting to a video like you might be reacting to, but reacting to a lived situation and an opportunity to finally share with the world, to finally put the spotlight on North Charleston City Hall.
My name is Pope. I'm here because I think that justice should be served, and I think that as a black male that this is something that hits close to home. The fact that I've had interactions with Charleston police, and this is the first time that one of them has been caught.
My name's Lonnie, and I'm here because Black Lives Matter, and I just wanted to be able to add my voice and support to all the voices that spoke here today, and it's important to my friend and to everyone else.
Hi, my name is Sean LeBeau, and I'm at this protest because I guess just to reiterate some of what Alicia Garza would say about who started the Black Lives Matter movement. This isn't an instance of a bad apple. The man who shot Walter Scott isn't just, crazy fellow. This is a part of a system, and I'm here to put the justice system on notice. We want justice. I don't think that the shooting was justified.
My name's Ramon Roan, and I like to start by saying handicapped, born black in America. 50 years ago, Walter Scott was born into this country, and he had to live under a hostile, racially hostile environment. And it starts here at City Hall. 7 years ago, Mr. John Singletary, who is a candidate for mayor, built a home. The American dream is what he did. And through the efforts of the mayor, this mayor, through his effort, what a mayor did was prevented him from getting a certificate of occupancy for 7 years. What happened to Mr. Scott is happening to all of us right now. Our rights are being denied. As the sister just got through saying about voting, 50% of the population here in Charleston, South Carolina, North Charleston, South Carolina, are black. However, we need to vote. We need to vote and get rid of Mayor Summey. It starts at the City Hall and Mayor Summey. There's a culture. There is an atmosphere. There's an atmosphere of racism in North Charleston, and we need to get rid of it. 75% of the police force are white. Is that a problem when 50% of the population is black? It is a problem that $40 million every year is spending city contract, yet black businesses only get less than 5%. Is that a problem?
Yes.
It is a problem that our fire department has 74% white. Is that a problem when we have 50% black? It is a problem that the fact that we do not participate in our elections. We need voter participation.
As we listen to the stories and the demands and the perspectives of individuals that live in this community that have experienced, again, a systematic oppression that happens politically, that happens in the justice system, that happens in the education system, that happens in the economy. We want to bring this all to light because this is not an isolated incident that exists within its own sphere. This is something that exists within a system that has existed down here. And we are going to talk about that system today. We're not going to be distracted. We're going to talk about what is real for the people that are living here.
My name is Minister Rosalind Prelo. In the book of Ecclesiastes, it says there's a season and a time for everything under the heavens. This is a season not for us to be quiet. Right. This is a season for us to speak out. Yes. We sit around, we talk and we sit around and our voice is silent. But this is a season. This is our opportunity to speak out and let everybody know what's going on in North Charleston. Speak! This is our season.
All right, thank you again. My name is John Wright, Johnny Wright, like most people know me. However, Representative Wendell Gilliard expressed some tough thoughts and some tough actions that's going to follow. What has happened here today. It's very tragic and it's unfortunate that these lives are being lost to officials to members of our community that are sworn to protect and to serve. We have to know that there is some responsibility and accountability in us all. The gentleman that lost his life, it doesn't matter what his circumstances or what he stood for or whether or not he was ever arrested for. That's of ill importance. What is important is the fact that he lost his life senselessly. And that's what's happening around America. We're losing lives senselessly. As a veteran, I got comrades that's over in Afghanistan and in the Middle East that are fighting wars against religion. But here in America, over all our lifetime, as long as we've lived, we're fighting wars here in America over race. Just after the inauguration of President Obama, white gentlemen flocked to gun shops and bought a massive amount of rounds. Well, they didn't necessarily buy those to go and defend America in the Middle East or defend America against anyone in the Middle East. They bought those typically to either create or have an opportunity to kill black males, and that's what's happening here in America, and it's unfortunate, very unfortunate.
And throughout the Tri-County area, there's a whole lot of racial profiling that has been going on for years. Unfortunately, my 87-year-old mother was pushed to the ground with a gun in her back at just a random search. Just random. She just happened to be there visiting her son. She was called the N-words, cursed out. Up till now, there's no justice.
My name is Tony Lewis, and I came out here in support of Black Lives Matter, with which I'm in this group, because we have a lot of this been going on for a long time, and you know, all this has been conspiracy for a very long time with the law enforcement, because they figure that they take their badge and their guns and do what they want to do because they are police officers, and they don't truly respect people because they has the authority to do what they want to do. And hey, nobody gonna question me, nobody gonna answer me, you know. But I thank God that on Saturday that someone videoed this incident would happen, because if not, it would have been another incident like all the rest of these Black lives was lost, and it was justified.
I'm a very close friend of Walter Scott. Yes, I am. Consider, yes. I called him my brother-in-law. He called me his sister-in-law. So yes, we are family.
Thank you, ma'am.
We are family.
Right. Thank you.
We are family.
My name is Nicole Fernandez, and I did not watch the video. I didn't watch it because I knew what I would find. I knew what I would find would be the story, the constant narrative of too many young Black bodies constantly being shot down by police, by people in positions of power. And I knew that I would find, that I would see the same system, the same narrative being repeated over and over and over again.
Hello, my name is Michael Brown, and I am here today mourning the loss of Brother Scott. And we're here to make a stand, you know, and let everybody know we will not tolerate this type of activity in Charleston, South Carolina. During the darkest years of this country, there were many blacks that were lynched legally and backed by the law. Well, this day in 2015, we're not accepting that type of behavior. You know, police officers, their jobs are not to be judge and jury throughout the streets. It's not that everybody should get their rightful day in court. And this young brother should have gotten his day in court. So we're just here to make a stand and to make our presence known. But most of all, we're here to ask this one simple question: where do we go from here?
Tory Fields. Like in the days of Pharaoh, when they wanted to stop the Israelites from uprising, they didn't go to the women, they went to destroy all the men. And right now we have in a modern day system where we're systematically destroying all the men, just to cut down before we would overtake. So we're just hoping now that we can come together, work together. We're sorry for this family. We're sorry that this had to be caught on tape, because we already know what would happen if this wasn't caught on tape. Would have been another Trayvon Martin, another Mike Brown, another Eric Garner, where police, not citizens, where police officers are systematically killing our black men. So I'm glad for the person who videotaped the tape, and we're just hoping that when the day comes in court, that justice will be served.
My name is John Singletary. I'm a candidate for mayor of the city of North Charleston, and I believe that fundamental fairness in this administration is lacking. We need to continually push for change, and the best way for us to do that is to vote. Today we're here demonstrating for Walter Scott, who has been avoidably put to rest and has to transition. It's an unfortunate incident, so unfortunate that the community needs to get out, and 100% turnout. We need to vote. We need to vote for change. We're going to allow the investigation process for the city to proceed as it normally does, but we would also like to have judicial oversight in the investigation from the Department of Justice. We have repeatedly asked for the Department of Justice to come down and take a look at the North Charleston situation, their administration. There has been letters sent continuously asking for justice in North Charleston. Today we say to the family of Walter Scott that we love you. Look to the hills from where your help comes, and this is not the end of this situation.
My name is Ricochet. Was born and raised in North Charleston all of my life. and I was born and raised in the city, and I understand the system of the city now. We need to change the politician all the way from the mayor all the way down. As a black man, as grew up, went to high school, came up, went in the military service, I am getting treated just like a one-sided citizen. Certain ways, I was stopped 2 and 3 times on my car. Just stopped me for no reason why, asking what type of job I had. That's no concern. If I did not violate no rules on the highway, why should I be stopped?
My name is Travis Pearson. I'm the director of America Street. What's going on here is basically inspired, the genesis for me making America Street. Because I read, Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crow, talking about mass incarceration, and what I wanted to do is try to use a narrative in film form to try to bring attention to the issues that are plaguing the black community. So I'm hoping that people watch the film and get that and understand. I try to do it as minimalistic and not preachy as because you gotta sneak it the medicine in the applesauce to attract the heads that we're trying to attract.
We're out here today supporting these young people who want to express their feeling about being oppressed in this city, and also about the shooting of Mr. Walter Scott, which was a tragedy. And hopefully this will change the way police operate across America, because looking at that film, it was really, really sad on the way they shot that man down. What we have to do here is change the top. When we can change the top, that means from the mayor on down to every city council member. When we change that and put people in it who's going to have our interests in hand, then we can change this city. But until our people decided that they want to get out and register to vote and put people in office that's going to look after their interests, nothing is going to change.
Greetings, this is Elder Carly Town with AC Funtime Superstar and the Baby Boomers, and we are here today with Black Lives Matter with Mr. Troy Smith. Troy, please tell me, there's a lot going on, there's been a killing, and tell me as a young man, what can we do to avoid this kind of thing?
Personally, I think to avoid it, I think we just have to be smarter, be smarter as a people, and it's some things, that's out of our control, even with the situation that just happened. We saw how the guy was gunned down inhumanely, 15, 20 feet from the police officer. And me personally, just hearing the story when it initially came out, it was like something, it just didn't sound right.
I'm Kerry Taylor from Charleston, South Carolina, here talking to friends with AC Funtime, commenting on the events of this past week, the police murder of Walter Scott. And I think this morning when this video was distributed through social media and through the national media, I think Charleston and really the whole country got a glimpse of what it's like to be African American here in Charleston, South Carolina.
My name is Arvella. I'm here today because I want to say what happened. I don't think it's fair what happened. I am waiting for the outcome. I think the police that assisted should be held accountable. Knowing Walter himself, I would say that Walter was running for his life, and he knew he was running for his life. I think that just Slagger being obtained and him being arrested is not enough. I think the second police ought to be accountable for being an accessory to murder.
All right, Charleston, the Low Country, we're live here at North Charleston City Hall. Rally just wrapped up, but let's make sure this is just the beginning of the real rally, and the real rally is about continuing this process, make sure that when it's all said and done, what we saw in that video, what America saw, turns into a proper verdict, because I know what I saw, and it's very unfortunate what I saw, but I know someone has been charged, so kudos to Mayor Summey and his team. Someone will have due process in the court of law, and ultimately a jury will decide what they saw and what the evidence says. But I feel confident that we can be the first city in America to do it the right way, and hopefully prevent further situations like this, and also prevent further violent situations, because people get frustrated because nothing does happen. So And lastly, to the hero, the guy who shot that video, thank you for your courage, because you made a difference, and you're going to change the way that things happen in this country because of your courage. So kudos to you, and rest in peace to this young man, and condolences to his family. Terry Bass, Magic 107.3, Z93 Jams, and shout out as always to my crew at AC Fun Time. Keep being the pulse through the video lens.
And as elected official, I want everybody to sound of my voice. I was moved because of the sincerity that came out of the mouths of the Mayor Summy, and Chief Driggers. He didn't have to do it, but he did it. He didn't have to say it, but he did it. And it was heartfelt. And I've worked with Chief Driggers on many different events in the communities, and Mayor Summy. So I want everybody to give credit where credit is due. If he's going to come out and tell the truth on how he feels, then we should show him just that much more respect. So I want to thank him. What you witnessed here today, to me, and I was very moved and proud that we saw so many young people engage, having dialogue, expressing themselves. I think as an older gentleman, when I saw that, it almost brought me to tears. And I knew right then and there that it was their time. And it was now time for me to just stand beside them, not behind them, but beside them. So I walked around and I shook each and every one of those young people's hand for what they are doing and will continue to do. Because you know why? It doesn't stop here. It does not stop here. That's one thing we learned in this walk as we try to stand up for peace and justice here, not only in the state of South Carolina, but the whole country. And now South Carolina, we have the eyes of the world upon us. My first thank you also goes to the video person, the person that actually took the time and taped that most unfortunate incident. Because, let's face it, if it were not for the person taping that unfortunate incident, you and I wouldn't be here having this discussion. You know where we would be? We would be in a mode. We would be in a mode of apprehension, a mode of just outright being scared. Rumors would be awry, and then hatred would set in. But because one person decided to video that unfortunate incident, now we've come to a quick conclusion. And that's why we're here today, because of modern day technology. Now, nobody deserves to be killed or lose his or her life in such a way because of a traffic stop. And if you digress and go back to when this first happened, remember now, the same old thing took place. First, an unarmed black man is killed, and then the media tries to play his life out in a negative way. We were building up. Every time I read the paper or saw the news, you heard about his child support. He was arrested here and there. The fact still remains then and now, he didn't deserve to die. So that's my position as a legislator. I hope Columbia will take note. Our governor needs to focus on matters that are real to the people, that are close to the people, and get her mind off of being anti-union, anti-black college, and all this in the state of South Carolina. She needs to stand up and be the leader that she was elected to be, and she's not doing it. We don't need no condolences message. We don't need no condolences message from her or Senator Scott. Senator Scott, you talk one thing out your mouth and then you turn around and do something else. Now, this is the time to call us down as elected officials. We are all responsible for what happened to this young man and many other young men in the state of South Carolina. We need to either put up or shut up. That's the bottom line. Because I'm going to tell everybody something. If we don't act and act now, we're going to be here again. It's going to be somebody else's son, somebody else's mother, somebody else's daughter. We're going to be right here. Far too many times in America, what we do, we talk a good talk, but we don't walk the walk. But thank God, AC Fun Time don't water anything down. They talk the talk and they walk the walk. What you see is what really is happening in our society.
This show is in memory of Walter Scott.